Hello, welcome. My name is Shamina Taylor, and today I'm going to tell you about 3 things that you need to know about your intuition. Now, when we talk about intuition, it's always like a feeling that you get, right? You ever go down a certain street, or you go to the different cash register, or you've done something and you said to yourself, oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that. You get this feeling like, uh-oh, I made a big mistake. You get into the line that's going really slow, and you initially thought it was register 2, but you're in the wrong line. Now, many of the times we are always getting connected to our intuition, but we don't listen. We don't listen to our intuition. We hear it, but then we ignore it. Now, the ways that you can understand how your intuition works is when you start seeing evidence of it. When you start tapping into it and listening to it, you actually strengthen the messaging and the intuition coming in even clearer. Our humans like to overthink things. We like to come up for reasons why what we're thinking isn't true or what we're feeling isn't true. But I'm here to tell you that there is a way of tapping into your intuition and having it be one of the most powerful things that you can use in your everyday life. Now, first things first, an intuitive hit or an intuition activation feels like love. It feels like a knowing. It feels like clarity. And you might feel it in your gut, in your lower solar plex, and you might feel it in your heart, but it feels like a yes. This feels like a yes. So you're not even in your thinking thoughts. You're actually in your body getting that intuitive hit. So you'll be, oh, should I do this? Yes. Should I take this next step? Yes. What happens is we'll get that yes, but then the human overthinking thought will come in and say, well, you know what? Maybe it's not a yes. Well, I don't know why I want to do that. Or maybe I shouldn't. And we start second guessing our intuition. So what I want you to do is just practice right now, asking a question for yourself. And then just kind of taking your hands, feeling into, is that a yes? And then practice what a no feels like. And feel it. You should feel like a clenching. There'll be like a gripping inside of you where, oh, I don't feel good. No, it'll feel like a little bit of pain. A yes feels flowy, it feels open, and it just feels right. Now, the second thing with your intuition is most of the time, you'll get a knowing, you'll get an idea, you'll get a message, and you're like, I don't know where that came from. How many of you have done that? I'd love you to share in the chat below. How many have done that where you're like, I don't even know where this idea came from. I don't even know why I had this thought, but then you acted on it and intuitively it turned out to be true. Most of the time our intuition is not coming from our human. It's coming from our higher self in the quantum field. It's coming from another place. When we are a clear channel, when we are not in our overthinking human self, usually it's when we are in our most relaxed being state, we actually can tap into our intuition really well. Maybe it's after you meditate, maybe it's after you take a bubble bath, maybe it's when you're just in a very chilled out state. You'll be able to tap in and hear the guidance that you need to hear. We have a direct connection to our intuition at all times. This is where you get that download or you get that intuitive hit. I don't know where that came from. And you trust it. You trust it. You lean back and you don't question it. You trust it. Now, sometimes when that comes through, some people will get a thought and they'll confuse it with intuition, but it will really be anxiety. It'll be an anxious state and they'll be like, well, my intuition's telling me he's cheating. My intuition's telling me this, but it really isn't your intuition. It's just your hypersensitive state telling you and creating a story in your head about something. So one of the key things about really determining whether or not something is an intuitive drop down from your higher self or coming from your human, creating a story, making you think it's intuition, is being able to get back into the center and really ask yourself and do what we did in step 1. Is this my intuition or is this an anxiety thing? And usually when it's an anxiety-ridden state, your nervous system is like reinforcing that. And your nervous system is saying, yeah, that feels like intuition. I know he's cheating. I know he's lying. But really it isn't. Find the calmness. Let your emotions kind of settle in a little bit. And then re-ask the question and see what comes through as clarity for you. And then maybe you tap into the universe and you say, hey, can you show me a sign that what I was thinking was truth or was my intuition? And you probably might get a sign, and you got to trust the sign. You don't ask like for 50 million signs, but you start trusting and you start exercising. Intuition is like a muscle. You've got to keep using it over and over again to start trusting and believing. Now, when you get into that state, this is number 3, you'll start trusting the intuition. And when you can trust your intuition, guess what? More intuitive information will come to you. Because now you're not a state of questioning. You're just in a state of knowing. And when you get to a state of knowing, you believe, you trust, and then you act. And this is where like opportunities start showing up for you, people start showing up for you, money starts showing up for you. You start trusting the intuitive hits, and more keep coming. Being able to trust your intuition though, it is one of the hardest things to do, but once you do, it becomes the easiest, foolproof way on how you can make any decisions in life. When you're able to just do step 1, tap in, feel into it. Step 2, have this discernment. Is this my intuition or is this my anxiety state? And number 3, you just start knowing. Oh yeah, this is my intuition. This is what it feels like. You'll pick lane number 2 from the beginning. You'll go down the right road. You'll be able to call in the right experiences. You'll be so tapped in to the energetic frequency of knowing that the only result that's coming through is exactly what you need to hear. Our intuition is such a superpower. It's one of the most underrated things that people have access to on a daily basis for infinite intelligence and magic. I trust my intuition now like 99.9% because I am human. A human will sometimes come up. But once I work through this process of is it feeling this? I do step 2, I get back to the knowing. And the more that I can just go all in and be like, I don't know why I need to do this, but I feel like I do, then more magic comes my way. I don't know why I need to go here, but I just heard that I do, and I go there. I don't know why I need to, inquire or look up this online. I just heard that I need to do. It's always bringing me to a deeper understanding and a much deeper knowing in my life that now I make decisions from full on trust in self. I'll tell you one little last tip. The intuition is that feminine energy, right? It is the connection to the quantum field. It is the all-knowing. It's not the human. Our human is our overthinking, our processor, our masculine energy. And when you tap into that soul-aligned information and you keep doing that, that is kind of where you tap into the quantum field and you start asking questions, maybe from your subconscious or through your conscious self. And then fast, you'll get these informational pieces coming in, guiding you each step of the way on whatever journey that you've taken. So sometimes to access that information, you've got to just get into a very quiet, comfortable space, maybe in your journaling. Maybe it's just closing your eyes. Maybe it's just finding some peace and allowing yourself to receive the greatest gift that we have, our internal GPS, the thing that we know that if we listen to and we tap into will always be leading us down the right road. My name is Shamina Taylor. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please subscribe, please share, please tag, please tell people who might need to see this. And if you want more videos like this, just leave me a message and I will make them for you. It is my greatest pleasure to serve you. I hope that you enjoyed this and stay tuned for the next video.